My name is Nicolas Roth, and I am a garden designer and scholar of South Asia with a particular focus on garden history. I have been researching the history and landscapes and horticultural traditions of the region encompassing India and Afghanistan and Pakistan. And this is also the case for my project here, which is called the Garden of the Mazari Palm. And the idea for it, especially in the context of the theme of the festival, chaos and order, arose from the fact that when I was doing research on natural vegetation and the agriculture in this region, one of the plants that I encountered was this species of palm tree, Nannorrhops ritchiana, the Mazari palm, which has a whole set of traditional cultural uses. The fibers are used to make sandals and baskets, the fruit is eaten and so on. So it has a real place in the local culture. It's part of the landscape. And yet I could find no images of it growing in the wild when I was searching for it. Only when I started looking at war photography, at images that had been taken in the context of the conflicts in the region for the last 40 years, suddenly the palm tree was everywhere. And I started finding all of these images of really stunning, beautiful landscapes and agricultural landscapes and wild landscapes with this palm tree and all sorts of other fascinating plants and plant communities. But the context was always war, was always disorder, and really bring the landscape and the vegetation back to the fore and create a garden that, in a very small space, tries to capture that sense of the meeting of various points in that landscape, of having the wild landscape of the creek beds that the palms grow in, and the hillsides with various trees and plant communities, and then on the other hand, the cultivated fields and vineyards and the sort of rustic garden spaces that the local population has to socialize, and have those elements come together in a small contained garden space. It also felt like a great way of integrating these Central Asian landscape elements into the wider Mediterranean landscape here in Sicily, here in Radicepura, because there's so many analogies between these landscapes and some of the vegetation and those in this part of Afghanistan that I was researching, and that generated this idea of this particular interpretation of chaos and order in the garden. Really exciting to see the garden more or less finished, but of course it's very much a thing that develops and evolves. So this is very satisfying on one hand, but on the other, it's it's just one first step. And the really exciting thing, actually, I think, is to continually keep seeing what the garden is gonna do as it develops and as the plants do their thing of being plants and being unpredictable to some degree.